Welcome to episode 5 of the Sober Stretch. This is a podcast for anyone with a problematic relationship with alcohol. Your hosts are Gary, myself, and Craig. We're a pair of ex-sesh heads who loved it and saw the light and are now sober as judges. Craig, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm a bit tired, but no, I'm all good. I'm all good. Stayed up too late watching the boxing last night and I have to get this shit done. So pick your choices wisely. Do you know what I mean? What about you?
Totally. Also knackered. Yeah, I missed the boxing. I watched the Champions League final, and yeah, but boxing reminds me of like planned disgusting sessions.
Yeah.
Did you have that with your mates?
Yeah, especially like the ones that are in Vegas, the 4 a.m. jobbies or 5 a.m. jobbies. We would plan how many fucking drugs we're gonna need to stay up and long enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, same here. We'd get everything booked in like a week in advance.
Yeah,
Boxing, yeah, like we used to like coincide big boxing matches with gigs in London. We'd be like, who's playing in London that night? Oh, Block Party are playing at Kensington Olympia, and then there's the fight at 3 a.m, and that'd be it, man. It'd be planned and it'd be carnage, and I would find the days after those episodes, let's call them, really dark.
Oh mate, yeah. When sleep deprivation gets into the mix as well, mate, that's when things start getting serious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As if a hangover's not bad enough.
Yeah, sleep deprivation and the extras that you think, and just the self-loathing from a stranger's kitchen.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Again,
Yeah, you end up don't even watching the fight, do you? Because you're too fucked.
I don't know if you remember this one, but Ricky Hatton fought Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And we all went out to a club, and then we went back to my mate's house, and his wife was away, and she'd allowed us to use their house, but she said we couldn't smoke in the house. So were all battered, and we went back, got in, and 3 of us went down for a ciggy at the front door, and we went up. The fight had finished because he'd just beaten the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I think it was the first round or second round, but it was
round,
done.
yeah, I think it was.
Missed it.
What's the fucking point? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
But you can't wait for the bad, can you? Bad decisions. But no, I'm not too bad. I'm just tired. I watched the boxing. I can still function. I haven't got a hangover. Fuck me, I wouldn't be awake if I did. But yeah. So today, this episode's going to be about the sobriety, not just the sobriety journey, but how everyone's journey is different and unique to them, and there is no right way is the wrong way. It's completely unique to you, because me and you have had chats, very brief chats, about how you done this and I done that, and not that we've ever disagreed on anything, because there is no right or wrong way, but it's just interesting. It's like whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, definitely. And ours is almost polar opposite, really, isn't it? And here we both are at a sober stage of our lives, which is proof that it just doesn't matter how you do it. You just got to do it the way that suits you. And I don't think, I mean, you need to plan things out, I think, to maintain sobriety, but you have to also adapt as you go, I think. Because I found when I first, we'll get into the specific differences, but I found early on, after about a week of just lying in bed like a gibbering wreck on the sofa, as well as like, what the fuck, I went. It was the World Cup. The World Cup. I can't remember where it was. I think in Brazil in 2014. Yeah, Brazil 2014. And for the first 4 or 5 days of the World Cup, this was probably about 6 weeks into being sober. I started going out and watching football with my mates in bars. And then after about a week of trying that, I didn't bother because it was just too tempting and too horrible. So yeah, it's like that kind of just going with the flow, but also having a plan. But I mean, it's different. It's totally different for everybody.
Yeah, that's tough. Because I associate football with booze. Not anymore, but football and booze has always been a thing for everyone I know. So especially England in a major tournament, fuck me,
Yeah.
that's that's what I associate booze with, mate. England. So yeah, so that's fucking well tough, especially in your first like couple of weeks of sobriety. I still think I just wouldn't have chose to do it then personally. I would have thought about that and thought, nah, I'll get the World Cup out of the way first, and then maybe think about it.
Well, I remember one of my best mates came to work in the city I was living in during the first week of the tournament, and I felt he was staying at my house, and I felt compelled to go out because I hadn't seen him for a while, and he was, one of my closest friends, but he's also, a big party boy. But he was well pleased for me, so he was respecting my wishes of like,
Yeah,
mate, I'm
nice.
going to go home. He'd be like, go home, mate, go home. He was really rooting for me, and you need those friends around you, and I think that's why, I think telling people what your plan is massively important, because then you've got people behind you, and if they aren't behind you, then you can kind of eliminate them, really. Like,
Yeah,
who wants a mate that says, oh, what do you mean your life's being ruined by alcohol? Just have another drink, you knobhead. It's like, come on.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
didn't have many of those people. So at the beginning, yeah, just removed any temptation at all, really.
yeah. No, that's good. You're so right about having people like that around is not fucking ideal at all, because it's just like as if you haven't got enough cues already pushing you towards having a drink. I remember when I found out that my one of my best mates passed away, and I just thought, fuck it, that's it then. I didn't obviously think about me, but I thought I was in shock, and we all met up at the pub, and I ordered a pint, and I think I was probably about 6 weeks in, and then one of my mates said, "Nah," he still said, "There's no point," and that's how fucking much of a fine line it was for me, because I just thought self-destruct. I was like, of course I'm having a beer. It was my go-to thing. So when my pal said to me then, nah, I was like, this is fucking serious then. Do you know what I mean? I'm actually going to have to deal with the probably the hardest thing ever sober, which was tough. But like you said, they're the sort of pals that you need, not fucking donuts trying to drag you down because their life's dead. And yeah, it's just pick your friends wisely, I suppose.
Yeah, it's typically the friend who maybe isn't that self-aware that pushes you to try and have a drink, I would say. Because you've got people that will be emotionally intelligent enough to say, yeah, you're doing the right thing by you, go for it. But if someone else is in turmoil, I find they want you to drink to justify their drink.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you need people like that. You need them gone. You need
yeah.
to be very clear of them.
Yeah. I remember waking up, we had like a few people stay at our gaff. I was in a shared gaff. And I woke up and I said to this boy, I had no idea who he was. I said, do you want a tea or coffee? And he said, gin. And I was like, sick, mate. I was like, I'll have a gin with you, man. It was like 10 in the morning. Yeah, not the sort of people that you need.
No. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? But it's funny. It's when you're 25 and you're like you've sort of seeped into proper alcoholism. You think you need those friends. I had a couple that were like, I could pretty much. Nobody was guaranteed to get on it as early as me and as religiously as me, but there were a couple of people I think, oh, United are playing Everton. In the old days, sometimes it was 11:30, United Liverpool, to stop the fans drinking, and I'd think, oh, he'll be up for it. He'll come to the pub with me. And I had a small collection of them, but nobody drank warm beer out of a can when they woke up at a party.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, we would have been bad together, man. Like,
oh,
we would have been really bad together. I wonder who would outdo who. Maybe it would just come to a halt. I don't know, but no, I understand exactly what you mean. With because there's a few things like you said about on your journey. There's a few similar things that we've had. with regards to walking and shit like that. Just I say shit like that, I play it down, but beautiful things like that.
Yeah.
But then there's also a lot of different things. So you mentioned it earlier. I did use 0% lager as that I think that really helped me. Really helped me. The placebo in that thing when you first have it is unreal because it tastes so similar to beers, and I couldn't go to a pub without having a beer there. You know, like I don't know. There's probably so many mental things behind it, but just having your hand round a glass when you're talking to someone, I don't know. It just feels right. But I'd go through. I remember the first time I had a couple, I thought this would be the time now where I'd normally do some drugs, and I felt like doing it. But then I realised that I weren't even drinking the real thing.
Wow, right.
Which is a huge placebo. And
well, you mean you're saying, the it almost took you to the point of wanting to call someone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Because it
was
so similar to the reality.
Yeah. I had three or four, and it was a nice sunny day. And I actually said to my pal, I said, "Fucking hell!" I said, "I literally feel like calling the Albanian. Like, these are actually doing the job. These are doing the job, mate."
Wow. But did you ever get like a hangover from them? Because I've heard people feel like they feel hungover from them. Because I've got like strong views on AF beers, but I think I have to take into account when I quit as well. Answer that question first, sorry, before I bombard you with 10.
I'll be honest, no. But because my brain is so, I can be a bit of a hypochondriac. So if you told me that I'd get a hangover, I would have fucking 100% got a hangover. But nah, I didn't feel. Oh, they just make you feel bloated and shitty. They are pretty shit, because again, I can't just have one or two of them, which is mad. I've still got that addiction in me. So if I've been to a wedding and I swear down, I've had about 15, 20 in a day. And because I just can't stop. It's that addiction, that addictive mentality still there. But no, I've never had a hangover. I have felt a bit shit because they're full of sugar and full of a load of. No, it's the same as what everything that's processed is made of now. But yeah, nothing natural. I didn't feel great, but I didn't wake up with chronic anxiety or anything like that.
And 600 quid less.
Yeah.
And herpes.
Yeah, you need to have sex with that, don't you?
Yeah, like that. I think that's the first major difference between us. And for those that are wondering, oh, is my journey the right way? It's your fucking journey. Do it the way you want, but and the way it feels right. But I quit in 2014, and there wasn't the industry like explosion around it like there is now. I remember going to a football match in Valencia, probably in 2013, and you can't drink in the stadiums in Spain. And I remember we had I was still drinking, and obviously wanted something in my hand. So me and my mate got an Amstel Sin, and Sin means like without in Spanish. So it was like a alcohol-free Amstel. I mean, Amstel's like cat's piss anyway, but
yeah.
It's flat and horrible, but when it's a non-alcoholic version, it was disgusting. It tasted nothing like beer. I remember like not even finishing it. And the next time we went to a game, my mate put a bottle of Absolute down these baggy jeans. So because we remembered how crap the AF beer was.
Yeah.
So there just wasn't that option really. So I wonder if I would have gone for that route. I didn't even consider it as possible, but
no.
I just think all those associations, like the cold bottle in the hand, the condensation running down the glass, the glug of it all. It just, I thought, I think if I was quitting now, I think I wouldn't be able to go there.
Yeah, I think again, I think completely up to everyone. I think for some people it might give them triggers and that, and they might think, "Fuck, I might as well just have a real one now." But for other people, like me, when you feel like you've fucking stood out like a sore thumb, it just if I'm out and about, or not out and about, if I'm sat down a pub for ages, I might just have one or two of them, but just to feel a bit more normal. feel like I'm fitting in and not a sad day. But
well, you know, whatever you need. If one of the things that you are struggling with is FOMO, you know, then by all means go to the pub and drink a couple of alcohol-free Heinekens. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it just does. It seems mental that if you want to get away, I mean, I'm not disrespecting the way you did it. Obviously,
no.
it worked for you, but it's interesting. It's interesting you don't drink them anymore. It kind of was your stabilizer, maybe at the beginning. No.
Yeah, 100%. Because
mental stabilizer.
Yeah, because I knew how fucking hard it was going to be, and it just got me through. I don't know why. I'm not saying it got me through, but it helped at the start. Now I don't see no point in them because I know they're just filled with shit. So what's the point? I don't need it. It's not exactly the nicest tasting drink, is it? I'd rather have a soda and lime because it's cheaper. Them little fucking bottles, they cost the same amount as a pint around it. Like £4.30, I think.
£4.30 to, like, I don't know, cope with your alcoholism.
Unreal, isn't it? Unreal.
It's just for me, like, I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday I posted on Instagram that I accidentally drank an alcoholic drink on Friday night.
Yes, and I was going to message you actually because that has happened to me twice.
That was my fourth.
So we're actually frauds then. None of us are fucking sober.
Yeah. What were you going to message me?
So I think you wrote on that post saying has anyone ever slipped up before? And so it's happened to me twice. There was one time where I was sat in the pub and this matey was there with no money, and I said, take my card and get yourself a pint and get me a 0% fucking Heineken or whatever. And he's come back with a normal one, and I've just sipped it. And I said to him, I ain't drinking. What the fuck are you doing? I got a bit irate. And I was like, fuck's sake, do you know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing, you twat? I've literally brought you a pint and you just fucked up my sobriety, you cheeky wanker.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one. And there was another time as well where I think I was at Farnborough Football Club actually, and I was with my pal, and they had I think they poured the 0% beers into a glass, and I was like, which one's the fucking 0% one? And then I had a sip of one of them, and I thought, nah, that tastes like beer. So I had a sip of the other one. Like, idiot. So either way, I've had a sip of the fucking beer that time. But that's it.
But
that's
could
all
you tell
I've done.
which was which?
Nah, mate. Nah, tell the truth. Nah.
Yeah, interesting. Crazy. Well, that shows how far they've come, because if 10 years ago I'd have drunk a crappy Amstel versus a crappy AF alcohol, I'd have known the difference. So, yeah, it's a dangerous game. Well, my partner, she bought these two, you know, like flowery fucking raspberry and hibiscus. I think it was called Gonal's was the brand. And she was like, oh, babe, there's like these two. She didn't think they were alcohol free. Do you know what I mean? She just thought they were like a fruit drink.
Yeah.
For anyone that hasn't seen the post. And she poured one over ice. I was going to the shop, so she didn't actually pour me one. And she tried it and went, oh, try that. That's delicious. And I took a sip of it, and I walked to the other end of the kitchen and thought, I was like, yeah, no, that's alcohol. Straight away, like instantly. And there it was, tiny little thing said 4%, and it said not cider on the can. It says not cider, not beer. This is a nectar drink made from honey. I'm like, are you trying to trick people into drinking booze, thinking it was really sneaky? I thought.
Why the fuck would they do it like that? Strange.
I don't know. Just market it as what it is. Like, stop. There are a lot of people on that trying to get into this journey. Just don't tease them. Do you know what I mean? Or don't toy with their.
So does your missus drink a lot, or does she drink?
She drinks, yeah, but not a lot.
Yeah. So I just wonder how comes you could pick up on it that straight away it had booze in it and she couldn't. I wonder if it's because you're your brain is like, nah, you shouldn't be having this?
That's a good question. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's like a normal social drinker. I don't know. I think I'm programmed to be wary.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's subconsciously. If I'm not sure what it is, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, because you have to take care. Like the three previous times I've had alcohol in my mouth, one was through a tiramisu. I think I've told you this privately. And I just took a massive spoonful of it in the amaretto, and it was so strong. But I was only 8 months sober, and I was at my mum's house, and I got really emotionally affected by it. And I ran across the kitchen, gobbed it into the sink, and I cried. I was 33 years old. My mum's 34 years old. My mum's hugging me in the kitchen because it was so unexpected. I don't know why I bought the tiramisu because it's the riskiest one, but
Yeah.
and then the second time was a coffee liqueur, which I wasn't as bothered about. That was some years later. Just said to my mate, "Give me a ciggy quick to take the taste out of my mouth." Third time was my mum's gin and tonic in a club. Don't know what the fuck I was doing in a club with my mum.
Mate.
And that time I was about. Well, she'd come to visit me, and a lot of my friends were going, and she was like, "Oh, I'll come along, yeah, whatever." Anyway, I had a sparkling water, and I drank her gin and tonic by accident. And that time I was about 7 years sober, and I just casually held it in my mouth for a place to find to spit it out. So, like, the difference with time is remarkable.
Yeah. I
Crying
think,
baby, gibbering wreck with my mummy, and then
yeah,
just I need to get rid of that.
I think because you're coming up to like 8 months, and to do a year sober is such a big fucking thing. You kind of think, fuck, I ain't done it. Obviously, you have done it, but you think, no, I haven't done it because I've had a fucking tiramisu.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no,
I think it's all about intention, isn't it?
yeah, I can kind of understand. I was pissed off, mate, when this boy brought me a normal beer. I was like, fuck, mate, why are you such an idiot? But they just think it's funny, don't they? Because they don't see it as a big deal. But you're like, mate, if that sends me back where I was, you're gonna fucking get it, trust me.
You're gonna cost me my life, mate.
Literally, mate. Yeah, literally. So yeah, that's one thing. Well, that's a couple of things that we've got in common and not got in common. I think, like you said, about having a plan and then having to adapt is such a huge thing because you have no clue how you're going to feel one day to the next. You're going to feel like shit for a long time, but your brain and fucking emotions and all that shit's going to be all over the gaff. So if you can get out and exercise and shit like that, ideal. If you can't and you have to stay in because you can't face reality, again, I don't see either thing bad, to be honest with you. Some people are going to suffer more than others.
I think while you have taken the very physical route in that you are now, that's your job, and you've gone from a bigger lad, shall we say, to a in perfectly good, like really good shape.
Yeah,
Like, what did you?
That cunt.
How much did you weigh when you stopped drinking?
When I weighed myself, the heaviest I was like 100 kilos. I don't do stone anymore, so I don't know what 100 kilos is, but it's probably must be 15, 16.
Yeah.
And then now I'm around 84, 85.
Right. And yours what, 6 foot, you said?
I'm 6 foot on the dot, yeah.
Right, well, I'm 6'3", and I was 17 and a half stone when I quit. Because the week I quit, I went into the chemist and weighed myself on one of those machines and took my blood pressure. And I tell you what, when I saw both of the readings, I was like, yeah, it's probably a good idea to quit.
Was your blood pressure high? Hello?
Your heart is pumping the blood around your body better and more efficiently in a month, and that was after 15 years of, almost daily abuse. So when you start to see that straight away, you're like, oh, I mean, I lost about 2 stone in the first month because I was just, it was just, yeah. So like the very quick advantages keep you sober, but yeah, I was a fat bastard, man.
Same. The weight that strips off straight away from not drinking is unbelievable, isn't it? Like, it's as if you don't even need to fucking try to lose it. It just comes off just because you're drinking these empty calories, and then you just stop putting that into your body. Like, and there is a lot of fucking calories. What is there, like 250 calories in a pint?
Mate, I have got no idea. I really don't.
I think there's about 250 calories in a pint. So if you're drinking 10 pints, what's that? Maths, 2,500 calories a day. It does just fall
Isn't that
off.
a recommended amount for? Sorry, I'm talking over you. Isn't that average amount for a man in a day? 2,500.
Yeah, 2 to 2,500. Yeah. So if you have,
so you need to drink 10 pints to get your calories done.
Yeah. Exactly. But then when you drink, if you're not doing coke, you're eating shit as well, aren't you? So you're eating pizzas, kebabs, fish and chips, just to fucking add that.
Yeah.
Add that to your blood pressure, like you didn't need it.
Because I found I'd eat that and then go straight to bed.
Yeah.
Because on the way home, eat it and I just pass out with 2,500 calories of ale inside me, plus kebab and kebab meat and chips. I mean, oh mate, that's no way to live. It's disgusting, isn't it?
No, but mate, honestly, it was growing up. I don't know why people think this is disgusting, but our family takeaway as kids was kebab. So if I'm not dieting, or if I don't mind eating something bad for a day or for a meal, I'll happily smash a doner still, mate. It doesn't remind me of bad times or anything like that. I fucking love a kebab.
Same.
Yeah.
The old kebab's all right as long as you're not going out and drinking 12 pints and doing half a gram of gack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's gack?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you?
Maybe it's a northern thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a London thing that I don't know where it's from.
Because I always find it funny, like the difference in lingo that northern people and southern people have for coke, man. Like I think northerners call it beak a lot, don't they, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would just crack up all the time because I lived in Leeds.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I moved to Leeds to sort my life out, and I went there and just fucked my life up even more, just fully cemented it. Do you know what I mean? And Leeds is a crazy place. Not the place to go if you want to get sober.
No, it's a good night out, Leeds. I like Leeds. It's a nice city as well. It's wild. It can be wild though. I reckon any place like that, Newcastle, Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, you're on a hide into nothing, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Just before I forget, just going back to the AFB as not as advice or as a suggestion, but I think it's interesting that you have stopped drinking them and that I never drank them, and I don't think I would have done. Because if you're a full-blown alcoholic and your whole life revolves around alcohol, why the hell do you want to continue having a cold green bottle with amber nectar in it? Is it not time to cut the ties?
Yeah.
To me, it just seems stupid as fuck, to be honest. And I keep meaning to do like a reel about that on Instagram. And just give my absolute honest opinion. To me, it just seems like a dicing with death kind of game. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I definitely understand exactly where you're coming from, and I think it's good that you're so honest, because for a fact you'll get some backlash from that. Some div who's so passionate about alcohol-free beers will be like, they'll proper take it at heart, man. And who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got their own opinion, but I I think I remember someone telling me that AA don't agree with alcohol-free beers either, because they're quite
I've heard
strict.
that.
I
Yeah.
think I think someone's told me before that they say it's not a good idea because of some chemistry in your brain or something. You're giving your brain false hope. I don't know, some shit like that. But I personally think if you're desperately trying to quit and you don't think you can quit without drinking 0% beer or alcohol free drinks, fair enough. Use it till you need it and then wean yourself off it, maybe like it's heroin.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but it's obviously not great because I don't drink it now and I've got the choice. So if it was great and it was fucking lovely, then I'll drink it. But I'd just rather have a soda water and lime, boring twat. Or a Coke Zero or something, but even that's a load of shite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think I feel like it's like saying you give up smoking and then vape a fucking health bar a day. That's
I
what it's
agree.
like.
It's a good analogy, Oh, okay, because vaping is probably actively dangerous for you, but it's a decent analogy. It's like, come on, get rid of it. If you are you in? Are you in? Are you actually gonna do this? Because
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it, fucking do it, man. Transform your life and start drinking San Pellegrino. Just,
If
yeah,
you can afford it.
if you can afford it, or as Waitrose Essentials.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Bubbly as fuck, that bastard, man. It's just great. I
The
love
thing
it.
is, though, like that's another thing as well. You probably like that water because it's bubbly or something because of the comparison to lager. But
Quite possibly.
it feels like you're having a naughty drink, but you're not. It's just water, but it's bubbly. Don't know, man.
Yeah, it's fancy, isn't it?
Simple minds, I reckon that's what it is.
Yeah.
Be
The,
pleased.
the, the spark, but the sparkling water is a thing, man. That's like very common addiction amongst former alcoholics, isn't it? Like,
Bro, I love
sparkling water,
sparkling.
sparkling
What I
water.
think about it now is making me literally want to run to the shop and get a big 2 litre bottle and just fucking down it.
My partner, she texts me like if I'm on the way home from work, she'll be like, "No, there's no sparkling," and that I'm like, "Oh shit, I have to get some on the way home, otherwise." Like, good.
Otherwise, meltdown.
Yeah,
Mate,
yeah.
it's funny you say that. I used to always have like emergency booze. Did you? Like, in case I ran out of booze, it would be fucking bad. Like, the fear of it being a Sunday, shops closing early, and me not having booze around the house, that would be a bad, bad, bad time.
I'd always plan ahead to ensure that I had, alcohol in the house if I was going to be at home. I would, yeah, well, we've spoken before. I would quite literally plan most minutes around the next drink, or so. Yeah, I very rarely left myself short.
Yeah, nice,
Um,
nice.
I couldn't,
I
I couldn't go home with 2 cans if I was going to be at home for 4 hours.
no, no. That's what's that gonna do?
Tease you and annoy you when the second one's finished.
Yeah, exactly. You need to get to that point where once you're done, you're done. But no, it's,
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm just thinking what else we've done similarly or differently in our sobriety journey. I fucking hate saying that. I feel like I sound like such a smug bastard. But for me, like I couldn't. You say about the exercise and that. I couldn't exercise until I was like 3 months sober, maybe 2 months sober, because my mind and body was just healing from abuse. Do you know what I mean? It was just trying to get over everything, and I didn't actually have the strength to exercise. So it wasn't until then that I actually went down that route. Whereas you started walking and shit like that and climbing mountains, whatever you done. after the first week, wasn't it?
I just started walking immediately to take my mind off it, and found that if I was walking, I was more able to channel my thoughts positively than if I was sat down. And for the first month, I wasn't working. My contract started, I think, about 6 weeks after my sobriety. Walking to just take my mind off it.
Yeah.
And that just became an obsession. And then I would, so when I lived in Seville and got sober, it was about a 45-minute walk to work. And I devoured that walk. And the morning walk in with music or just, a bit of focus set me up beautifully for the day. I got to the point where I wouldn't even dream of taking a bus or public transport for, unless it was 4 or 5 miles and I was in a hurry. Other than that, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to, 6 weeks sober. I'm going to see so-and-so. He lives across town. It's going to take me an hour and 15 minutes to walk. I'm leaving early. So that monotonous dum, 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 always on the go really, really helped me. And that's kind of stayed with me, to be honest.
Do you know what I think of? I'm just thinking of how much you must have been sweating, because you sweat. You sweat anyway when you've got withdrawals. If you're in Seville and you're walking for an hour and a half, I'm thinking, fuck, you must have been pouring out.
Do you know what? It's a very dry heat. It's like desert heat. I also lived in Valencia, which is super humid. But yeah, I remember walking and just feeling it coming, like my life sweating out of me, my former life. I can remember it vividly. There's a really beautiful bridge, and I just remember walking across that bridge one day, very early in the morning, and just like it pouring out of me. It was just
all the
gross.
Toxins and bad stuff coming out.
Yeah, but very cathartic, very cleansing, and quickly after a matter of weeks, you've got a new addiction, walking. Much healthier, and you just do it to stay alive and stay on the right track. So walking was massive for me. But I don't know. I'm just not as. I'd love to be more physically active.
It's each their own though. Like you said, you have a lot more responsibilities than me. You've got 2 kids, wife. I've just need to keep myself busy. So for me, I will train more for the mental side of it than the physical side of it. But since I have had like a few deaths around me, and that health is very, 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 it's on my mind all the time. So I know that the world is quite an unhealthy place, and I know that I've abused my body for so many fucking years that it's like my number one priority. Do you know what I mean?
Did you smoke cigarettes?
Yeah.
Do you still?
No.
Oh.
I actually now, and I vaped a lot as well. So I stopped smoking for vaping, but then I've never known anyone to vape like me. Honestly, I would be waking up in the middle of the night and hitting my vape like it's a joint, and having a go on my vape, and I would just be on it non-stop. And then I was like, this is another addiction, because when I do something, I can't moderate. Do you know what I mean? I can't put things down. So I then stopped the vaping for these nicotine pouches, like these snus things, and I'm just trying to come off them. Just trying to come off them now. I haven't had one this morning because I feel like that's too much nicotine, and nicotine makes me proper jittery. Especially because I hammer it to excess. I've just constantly bolting about. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't do nothing about nicotine. But that's just my addictive nature. It's crazy.
Well, there is that phenomenon of the addiction transfer, isn't there? So you're addicted to alcohol, and then you become addicted to sugar when you get sober.
I was
and still am, really. But I was like that as a teenager. I know every teenager likes sugar, but as a teenager in November, I would go into the Texaco petrol station right at where the bus was coming. The school bus would pick me up, and in November I'd buy like 7 chomps, 2 boosts, and a
Boost
cornetto.
for the Boost for the one, mate. I don't
Mate,
know
Boost is my
anyone
favourite
else that
chocolate.
likes a Boost. I don't know anyone else that likes one.
Oh, mate, we're destined to be friends. It's my favourite chocolate bar of all time.
Yeah, same as that. One of them. I don't know about top.
Oh, mate, it's my favourite. Second double decker.
Yeah, I do like a double decker, but I'll never buy one. Strange.
I see. Yes, they're my go-to. But yeah, the sugar thing. So that was inevitable when I stopped drinking. I was pounding it, and I still pound it. Really, it's awful.
Yeah,
It's my biggest vice, I would say.
yeah. I think you can't be too strict on yourself. We're a long time dead. Do you know what I mean? I think moderation, if you can moderate, I will eat healthy Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends I'll let myself go a little bit. But when I first gave up drinking, fuck, like I would pain sweets and sugar. On the weekends now I'll go to the shop and it's like it's like I'm a little kid again. It's actually a bit embarrassing. Like if 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 a decent looking bird walks in, mate, I'll actually put some shit down so I don't look like such an immature clown. But I will literally buy like like Millions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mate, I'll hammer all that sort of sugar, especially when I first quit. The cravings were so bad, but I didn't care because I wasn't drinking, so I didn't give a fuck. If I was eating shit, didn't care. I wasn't drinking. I thought I was mega healthy.
Well, and comparatively, you were. It's stages, isn't it? You can't keep eating, ridiculous amounts of sugar every day. I mean, I eat a lot of sugar, but it's not, it's not unacceptable levels. But at the beginning, look, if you've been drinking for 10, 12, 15, 20 years and it's damaged every element of your life, what's a year of eating excessive sugar just to keep you
Yeah,
sober? Let's
exactly.
get real. Let's get real. Sugar doesn't make you not go to work on a Monday, Tuesday, and then also a Wednesday because of the anxiety. Sugar doesn't get you punched at 4 o'clock in the morning outside a bar. Sugar doesn't make me call someone a fat prick that walks past you in a bar just because you hate yourself and you feel like you've got to take it on other people. Ain't no boosts doing that.
You won't be calling no one a fat prick because you'll be a fat prick the amount you're eating.
Yeah.
But it's funny, the sugar thing's a big thing. Like, you could do a whole episode on the sugar thing because I've heard about it before. Someone else has told me that apparently it's a legitimate thing that people. Trying to think who the fuck it was. There was some famous Pete Doherty.
Ah, yeah.
Have you seen the size of him now?
He's a big chap. Yeah, he's a man of. He's been a man of addictions, So
yeah.
But do you, what he would. I'm interrupting you here, but I'm sure he would say, "I'd rather be in this state than back on smack."
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, it's you can't take the sugar thing seriously. You can't. If you want to fucking eat something, eat it. If you're not, it's probably your body. There'll be some scientific reason behind it. Your body will be craving sugar because it's not getting it from booze, blah blah blah. So just fucking eat it and don't worry about it. If it's another day not drinking, the healthy eating side of things, and when you fully want to get your life back on track and fully get your health back on track, that's going to come in time. That's going to be a slow process and a long process. But you can't expect to go from drinking 10 Jaegers and fucking, I don't know, girls will drink WKDs or whatever, vodkas, lemonade and limes, blah blah blah, to then eating chicken and rice and broccoli every day. It's unrealistic. If you can, you wasn't drinking enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. The sugar's like putting a plaster over the wound, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then eventually it'll dry up. I think as well as your sobriety progresses, you start to want to put most of your life together in a better way. because it's not just, oh, I'm not drinking now. It's like, oh, maybe I can get my career together again. Maybe I can sort out my finances. Maybe I can like repair all my damaged relationships.
Yeah.
And maybe I should probably deal with this sugar addiction that I've acquired in the last 9 months. You know,
Yeah.
so you are kind of, after a certain amount of time, you are geared up. If you stay sober, geared up mentally to improve every element of your life, and then you can maybe take care of the sugar. The beginning, like what tang fastics, whatever, mate, whatever you need.
Oh man, love them.
See, I hate them. I'm a chocolate man.
Love them,
Chocolates
mate.
and cakes and shit. But
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, again, differences.
Just focus on not drinking today. That is, however you do it, fucking do it within reason. Don't start getting on the hard stuff, but do what you need to do. If you need to eat some shit, eat some shit. Not the end of the world.
Agreed. What about let's talk about another area that we are different in, and maybe then we'll leave it there. I would say
got to shoot and I'll go and paddleboarding in a bit.
There you go. You're going paddleboarding, not to weather.
I know. I know.
Man.
Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I? All right.
Meditation and all that kind of spiritual side of it, and I got massively into meditation. It was recommended to me at my first AA meeting, and I thought, meditation, I ain't no fairy. And I tried it, and I loved it. Because it's interesting. I've got an Instagram. On Instagram, I've got like a accountability support chat group that I've mentioned a couple of times. And the people that are struggling to get into meditation in that group that are trying to get sober are males, probably over 50. And I reckon it's a generational thing. They're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, a lot of the other people are like recommending it, going, just fucking meditate, calm your mind down, try, practice, learn how to do it. Because it's like any skill, you need to get good at meditation. And I found it calmed my mind and just allowed me to make better decisions through the day. After time, you know, like creating that muscle memory of calmness and stillness. Then it'd be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and so prick would get in my way in the supermarket, and it wouldn't agitate me because I'd kind of been controlling my mind and my emotions. But you've never done that, have you?
Nah. I would love to get into it, but I think it's not an excuse. I think my brain is very erratic and maybe a bit, and manic. I think probably ADHD, to be honest with you, but I don't want to be one of these guys that's fucking, you know, everyone put a label on something these days, and you think, fucking hell, I've got to 32 without having a diagnosis, so I'll be sweet. But
yeah, I'm a bit like
that. I think I struggle to focus. I know I struggle to focus. I always have done at school. So I would absolutely love to do meditating. It would just take me a bit longer than the average Joe to get into it, just because there's so many things going around in my head all the fucking time. I'd be thinking about weird shit. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say that you drank to still that, to calm that mind? Yeah.
100%. Because, oh mate, like, the anxiety of like having a night out and then waking up thinking, what the fuck have I done? The anxiety would be so uncontrollable, and that's why I would drink again. Do you know what I mean? So, but some people must just not get anxiety when they drink, and they must just wake up and think, oh, that was a fun night, and then fucking go and have a cup of tea. What lunatics.
I know, who are these people, and why was I not one of them?
I know, yeah.
Well, last night was great, wasn't it? I had such a nice time. It's like, really? Did you not, like, are you sure you didn't piss down someone's letterbox or something?
Yeah. I pissed many a beds.
Mate, I got, as I got older, I got really bad for that.
Yeah, man. I pissed beds with people in it. Bad, like girlfriends.
There's a woman downstairs in my house that can confirm that has happened.
Yeah. It's bad, isn't it? You feel like such a twat. Like, I've done it. I reckon I've done it about 5 times. Pissed the bed when drunk. I don't obviously piss the bed on a normal one.
on a normal Tuesday sober.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna lie here and warm my thighs
Yeah.
up.
I at least put my nappy on first.
Yeah, 5 times. Oh, I would say I probably I could name 5 times right now that live deep in the memory. Oh yeah, at least 10, 15. Awful, awful,
Yeah.
shameful.
Yeah. But no,
Do
I've
you know
done
what?
what we're
I lived
talking
in a.
about. Go
Sorry,
on.
go on.
I was
No,
just
I
gonna
lived in a
say,
flat with my mate. Right, go you first. Go on.
I was just gonna say on the meditating thing, um, I haven't I haven't done meditating, but what I have done is I have done a couple of times now this breathing, this deep breathing, and it's
Mhm.
is it diaphragmic breathing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I've done that a couple of times. I've done
Same.
a Wim Hof thing. And
Me too.
I went there with one of the instructors and my mum, done the ice
Oh, you
bath
actually
and all that.
went. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Um, and that was good. But things come out of you when you breathe heavily and you get jittery and stuff and you get emotional.
Yeah.
And I started getting tears coming to my eyes and I was like, come, I'm in unfamiliar territory here, so I try and snap out of it because I won't let myself go. But then I've done this deep breathing thing with another woman in the gym and she fully fucking sent me. And it was so nice because my nervous system is always really high. And I feel like it
Mhm.
always has been. Another reason why I used to drink to slow it down. And the drinking probably fucked up my nervous system. So this woman, this girl, lady, whatever, she fucking sent me, man, from this breathing. And it's the first time I've ever felt at complete peace and nothing was going on. And it was, oh, man, it was fucking lovely.
I reckon you'd love meditation with time.
I
The
would.
breathing's powerful. I did the Wim Hof course. I bought his course online. I lived in Budapest and it was January and it was freezing, I remember. And I got into it and I started having the cold showers. And at the end of the first week of doing his breathing, I held my breath, and I'm not lying. I held my breath on the first week, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And then got in a ice cold shower in a freezing cold apartment in Budapest. And you can imagine how cold it was. And I'd come out of the shower and I'd stand naked in the hallway and just be on fire. I was so warm. I want to talk about it more, but I also feel like how sick are people on the Instagram of pricks that get in a cold bath and or breathe heavily. And I
I
was
know.
like,
I know.
plenty of people to our job here is to relate to the everyman and woman about drinking
Yeah.
because we're just so honest. It's not to be advocates for deep breath work, but I would recommend breathing meditation yoga to anyone
Yeah.
that's trying to get sober.
Yeah. I do stretch. I stretch pretty much every morning. Um, I just think in a nutshell, to kind of like wrap things up, I think in a nutshell, do what the fuck works for you. Don't worry about everyone else or anyone else actually. Just worry about not drinking for one day at a time. Don't try and be like everyone else because everyone in the fucking world wants to be the same person these days, which is crazy. No one's unique. Your journey is going to be unique to you. You're going to feel certain ways. And do what the fuck works for you. Try different things. Meditating, if you can do it, do it. It's a natural. You're not taking medication. It's natural medicine. So
Mm-hmm.
a big believer in stuff like that.
Same. Yeah, just trust yourself. I think when you're drinking, you give yourself such a hard time because you're disappointed with yourself and aspects of your life. When you're getting sober, go easy on yourself, but be strict. It ain't a piece of piss. You have to set yourself rules that you don't break. But
100%.
just be your own person, because then you will become your own person. You'll become your own sober person on your own terms, and it will be glorious.
100,000,000%.
Word. Safe. Well, mate, go paddleboarding, you sober bastard.
It is, bro. I'm fucking running late. But yeah, no.
Okay. Safe,
No.
bro.
Have a good one.
Until the next time. Peace.
Catch you later, guys.
Ciao.